Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at Logic Pro for iPad and the step effects. Right, okay, so just let me close that down a sec. You will find step effects inside of the Logic Pro multi-effects folder, and there it is. So that's where you locate it. It's a really great effect. There are a couple of things that I don't like about it, but that's more to do with the UI than anything else. The actual effect itself is absolute genius. It's really great. Right, so let's just double click it and open it. So at the moment, I have it bypassed, and this is the sound we are going to affect. It's just this, me playing a chord. The other bits and pieces are just for fun. But I'm going to solo this. So I'm just playing this one chord. Now, this is the best way to explain how this works, okay? So just this one chord. Let's open step effects up. So you can turn that one chord and it literally just loops round and round and round. You can turn it into stuff like this. Which is very, very cool. So let's explain how this works by kind of setting up an absolute basic patch. But first of all, I'll kind of explain the interface. You can have, like, it will default like we have 16 steps here. In fact, if I kind of, now this is tricky, right? You have to kind of, this is one of the things that I don't like, this trying to pick up, you can't do it with a mouse, and trying to pick up the actual scrolling with this. You can have, it says up to 128 steps, but I've just tried to put in, like, I got up to something like 300 steps and it was still going. So I have no idea. But anyway, I'll get into that in a bit. Right. So first of all, filter cutoff, MFX, feedback. These are your modulators. You have 3 modulators that you can apply to your effects, and you can route these modulators anywhere here. So for example, you'll see that on this first modulator, I'm going to turn this one off, and I'm going to turn the gate one off, and this is just now going to affect the filter. Okay, I'm going to turn this little bit of reverb we have off down. You'll see reverb mix. This is the XY pad. You can assign it to anything you like. See, Y is targeting this. So now we're affecting the multi-mode filter. And what happens is, if we're on 100% depth, this step sequencer will control the filter cutoff. Until you go back to the original point of the cutoff, and then you could open it up manually. Okay, let's turn the depth. That's at nothing, so you can go positive and negative. So how you have this set is entirely up to you. You have different patterns. So like I said, you can target anything you like here, anything that's in the actual effect. So mod effect depth. So if we look at mod effects here, you're now targeting the mod effect at a full depth, negative, full. But let's put this back onto filter because it's easier to hear what I want to show you. So let's go. If we go into pattern, this is a custom pattern because I've just messed around a bit, but you have LFO shapes here. Now this is a good one, right? Because let's see how many we've got here. Probably only 16. So if I can pick this up, yeah. We can extend this, like I said, but we also have other options here. If we click on this, we can go double note length or append duplicate or append reverse duplicate. So let's do that. And now it will, let's try and pick it up again. See, it's real tricky, this is. Here we go. Now we've got a duplicate of this, but in reverse, so it's more like an LFO shape. Let's take this back to 16. Okay. You'll see these little lines that join these together. This means you're getting a smooth filter curve, right? You're tying these notes together to... Now, this isn't explained very well in the manual, but to stop this happening, you click in between. And now, it becomes staggered. This highlight control here controls the depth. And we could, for the sake of the tutorial bit here, take this down to 8 steps. So, attack is how aggressive it's going to be. So, let's attack curve. That's you won't hear that because there's no attack, but hold and release. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's increase it a little bit. So say 14. You can switch steps on and off, right? So okay. Switch them back on. Then you can adjust the rate. And this is independent for each modulator, completely different setup for each modulator, okay? Excuse me. So this one here will increase the actual amount and depth, if you like. This one will kind of gate it. So let's take these back up here and apply some gating. Nice. Like I said, here is where you can like do a slight randomization. So a slight deviation. This is full random. and you'll see some of them will tie together. Now, like I said, the ties, click in between the numbers to get rid of the ties. Let's go back to this. To tie them together, you just click in between them again and you'll get a smooth effect. Very cool. And like I said, yeah, you've got shift left, shift right, double the note length, right? So let's do that. And then we need to maybe, so you've got to tap around here, but you've got to be real careful because it's really terrible the way this has been implemented, because it's right hit and miss. There we go. See, we've doubled the note length now, so we're up to 30 instead of 15. Let's take them down. I wish there was a way to say, oh, I want 40 steps or 50 steps or something, but there's not. Okay. And then you have reverse, which just reverses the sequence. Append duplicate, which will duplicate exactly what's going on with another 30 steps, 15 steps. Append reverse, which will, like I said, showed you with the sine wave, right? So that's easy. Let's just randomize this and put a few bits and pieces in. This is really interesting. Pattern. We can recall the default pattern, copy a pattern and paste it. Custom pattern, which I'm in now, an LFO pattern, so ramp up. And like I said, we know this is filter cutoff, so we can you have a gazillion different filter types. You have the XY pad, which you can assign here, and you see I've got it assigned to reverb mix here, but if the reverb, if this is completely down and the reverb mix is set to 0, I can blend reverb in with this from here. Different reverb modes. And then we can start taking away some of these ties. So it's really a fabulous effect. So ramp up, then we have obviously ramp down, square, and like I said, you can extend it. You can extend it massively. We've got swing. Just play around with this stuff, it's epic. Like I said, we have a few more LFO shapes. Then we have app patterns, right? So these are really great. Okay. Looks like an envelope. So loads of really great app patterns. And again, don't forget you've got your rate and your swing. And like I said, this is assigned to filter cut. Let's assign this to the resonance of that filter. So it's going to do something with the resonance. So let's assign this one to the filter cutoff. So switch it on. So now we've got filter resonance on this, filter cutoff on this. Let's change the pattern. And then you have a mix control here as well. So how much of the filter you want to affect the sound. You also have the depth. Let's change that resonance to something else. So maybe the distortion exciter. And let's go and look at that. See now the excite. Turn it off. And this is where we can start having some cool fun. Now you'll really hear the tie effect if I apply something like this gate mix to this works just like an ordinary stutter gate. So you have the 3 modulators running now. So let's turn this one off and this one off. So we've just got the gate. And let's do a ramp. Let's use this and go with an LFO shape of a ramp up, right? Let's assign this gate mix here to the reverb mix. Hear that? Now you'll really hear it now if I take some of these as not ties. Okay. And let's put it onto plate. Put the time up. As soon as we get a tie, it's just one continuous long reverb. Marvelous. Let's turn this one back now into, let's switch it on. It's brilliant. Let's take this, make it into the gate. Let's maybe have this as a sorry. Okay. Smooth that out. Now you see it's smooth. Let's take all these ties off. Let's change the rate. Turn this. Very nice. Let's turn this reverb mix now and put it right. I'm going to just make sure on the mod effects. I'm going to turn the mod effects down and I'm going to send this reverb mix one to the mod effects feedback. I'm also going to now just randomize this and take off the ties. Okay, right, and now I'm going to play with the feedback on the mod. I'll assign one to the rate, so I can assign multiples to the same effect. So this one will go to mod rate. Very cool. Let's make this a bit smoother. Maybe assign this one to the mod delay. Less depth, or don't forget, at any time we can bring, any of the effects, it's like a multi-effects as well, any of the effects that aren't been used here, like for instance, you could have all these actually all just turned off, the modulators, and still use the effects as just effects. But why would you? It's so cool, and it really. Now you can skip up and down the effects. Go to the I mean, look at this watch. So now I've got 57 steps. I'm going to randomize everything. Take these off at the end. Try and get it to scroll. Oh, here we go. Take them off. Take the ties off. doing that with my finger, I'll do it with these. I'm going to send this to the resonant filter, well, maybe the delay feedback. We have a delay as well here. So we're now modulating the feedback of the delay here with this 100%. Now you can also switch off any effects you're not using, or by the same token, of course, you can switch them off here, or you can just take the mix out. It's entirely up to you. It's so cool. Very cool. You've got some really great comb filters as well. Don't forget we've got a massive so tricky. I'm going to drag this back. Chain our filter back to something more sensible. So this is on pan now. Maybe we could go with an LFO shape of or a custom up pattern maybe. Here we go. And of course you can save your patch as soon as you've finished sorting all this stuff out for yourself. Don't forget to play, if you want to save the patch, don't forget to play with the envelope, by the way, as well. If you want to save your patch, you just go in here and click Save As, and it'll save yourself as a new patch. So let's go back to my original patch here. Awesome stuff. And you see this mix feedback is been applied to this. You can control the depth. It's really a fantastic effect. It's just a little bit, this scrolling this thing is tricky. Like I said, if you can easily make mistakes by, look, if I put my finger on here now where my mouse is, see what happens? You can end up joining stuff together. It's really hard to pick up the actual scroll bar. They could fix that, right? They should fix that. Okay, before I go, I'll scroll through a few of the presets for you. Now you know how it works. Like I said, anything you want to assign or modulate, you literally choose one of the three modulators, one of the three step sequences, and change it out here. And you can turn it off and on here. Or scroll through the presets, of which there are many, and just make some adjustments to those presets. Of course, don't forget you can shorten your step. You can turn steps on and off. Sorry. You can speed it up. Don't forget, if it's tied, it'll be this one, unless there's a, like that, right? It's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just this that's a little bit tricky. But the actual effect itself is awesome. So let's go and have a look at some of the actual... let's go back to our things. Ambiences. Very short. That's cool. It's definitely worth having a dig in and a mess round. And these are the ambiences, and you've got kind of complex gated. And when you find one you like this one for instance, you can start to mess around with it, right? So we'll go, okay, well, let's filter cut off here. Switch these on. Very nice. And of course, when you mix this in with your track or whatever, it sounds blinking awesome, of course. So I set my one up with my little preset. But it might sound nice with this as well. Awesome. Very cool. Guys, thanks very much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Please consider becoming a Patreon or making a super thanks or a donation or something to help support me and Joe here at the Sound Test Room. It's very much appreciated. And there you go, step effects. I could not find any tutorials for the iPad iOS version for the step effects. So I thought, well, I'm going to make one. The manual isn't very clear on how to do a lot of this stuff, sort of thing. Like the ties, it was just, well, how do I get rid of a tie and how do I add a tie and stuff? I mean, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? But if you don't know, it's not. Anyway, but there you go. You just tap in the middle and that's how you do it, and switch steps on and off like that. Just the trickiest thing, honestly, is just trying to get this thing to scroll. You have to be really right on the. It don't even work half the time, look. But they could fix that, you know. They could have a more defined sort of thing. Have the blinking thing on screen all the time or something. Double clicking it don't matter. Double tapping it doesn't do anything. Say again, it's really, that's the real only issue. I mean, if you're only working with steps of 16 or less, you're golden. It don't really matter. I mean, you can get some beautiful effects just by using very short sequences, of course. Anyway, top job, cool beans. I'll see you later. Ta-da.